Okay. Oh, I meant to give that positive too. Shoot. As I hit go. Okay. Oh no! It's raining! Wait a minute, Talia, did you do this? Listen, just because where you live had tons of rain. Do we know what fire is like for him? Let's find out. Oh, that's right. Why do so many of the power-ups just turn the pitch into a weapon? It's vaguely disturbing. Oh, you did it, Kenexcow. Okay. Guys, we have a problem. Pitch has entered orbit. Which makes sense. Kirby does have a lot of mass, thanks to the whole black hole thing. Hang on, you lost me, Talia. Could you explain that in Steve's voice, though? Ah! Must get to next screen. Must make progress. Okay, we're good, we're good. Baseball. Oh, okay. Well, what are we thinking? Which is the one we need for this stage? Small stars add up to a 1-up after 30 of them. I don't know why that took me a second to count. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Like, knowing this game, it could be any of them. Mr. Red! Mr. Red, quick! Quick! Pick one! Pick one, quick! The whole stream is stalled. Nobody can make a decision. We've been waiting for you. Okay, hamster. Whew, thank God. It's like when the president has to make a decision, you know, in like the drama movies. Mr. President, we need you to make a decision now. Nobody else will take responsibility. They don't say that, but that's what they mean. Nobody else will take responsibility for making a horrible call, so you have to be the one. That's Mr. Red's job. It's to make the tough decisions and then get blamed for them. I can't believe that didn't hit me. What? Ah! Oh my God. Baseball. Yes. Yes. Okay. Oh my God, it's one of these. I don't know. I wasn't even looking. Hang on. Okay, so... shoot. Hang on. This is just mean. Here's 3 things. Memorize all of them. If you get anything wrong, start the whole stage over again. Oh god, I don't know. What in the world is going on with my function key all of a sudden? I mean, Kirby would actually be able to permanently defeat Chaos. That's all I'm saying. 1 second. But no, for real, the Kirby setting is one of those funny settings, which is extremely low tier, except when it really isn't. There's actually a couple of those, right? Where everything's just really, really, really down to earth and grounded and barely magical, you know? Barely above everyday real life. And then there's, you know, things like Termina. Or Kirby himself. Or I guess themselves. What in the world? Ah, this poor keyboard. Hi, Baron. 1 second, please. I'm having issues with my function key. And that's not a good thing. Why are you not coming loose? Why do you delay my stream? Why do you do this to me? What is the issue here? Anything in? No? We're on 4 something. 4-3, I want to say. Yeah, most of the end bosses of most of the games are planetary level threats. Some of them are above planetary level threats. I would say the final boss of Ultra, there's the issue. Ultra, the next game we're playing, as well as a couple others I don't want to spoil, would all be interstellar level threats. Robobot was an interesting one, because that was probably a galactic level threat, if that had been allowed to keep going. That was, again, I'm not going to spoil, but Nightmare was a lot more local. Honestly, Nightmare feels a lot like the original Dark Matter. Not exactly a joke, but just not at the same scale as something like Zero. Or, well, 02. There we go, that should help. Yeah, I would agree with that, Baron. And honestly, a bit of a victim, too. That's kind of the funny one about that one. Ah, it feels much better. Okay, sorry about that. Hang on. I think we're all back. We should be all back. Queen Sectonia, yeah, nobody really... I mean, forgive me for being a massive geek. Power comparisons for me have always been like economics. Now, hang on. Let me bear with me, okay? So, let's say Dr. Winter has Winter Box, and Talia has Talia Box, and Off the Deeper End has Off the Deeper Endios, right? All 3 of those are totally different scales that operate differently. You have your own private economy, which operates in your own way. But there's ways to compare and contrast similar things across them in a way that we could find a comparison point and then use that to gauge how strong a Off the Deeper Endio is compared to a Talia Bach, right? And that's how I tend to approach those kind of discussions. It's an interesting hazard. Is everything rendered right now? Hang on. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, just making sure. Okay, let's see what I'm doing. guess that's the point. They've found a new substance at the core of the Earth, off the deeper Endians. We cannot harness it, only contain it, for now. You know what, I'll take that. Okay, so orange. I mean, we'll talk about him hopefully tomorrow, but yeah, he's always been quite popular, and I think there's a few reasons for that. This is a weird stage. Oh, jeez. Okay. It probably... Whoa! Okay. Oh, no. Oh, no! 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 Okay. Oh, we're stuck with Rick, because, you know what? Hang on. Let's just do this. Goodbye, Rick. I don't love you. I'm just kidding, Rick. You're the best. You're so good. You're so cute. This is a lot of crap to be dodging. They knew what they were doing here. Dick. Okay, so they're giving me a needle. That's probably a sign. Usually a sign when they do that. Let's just go, let's just go, let's just go. They also give me spark, though. Uh-oh. No, health. I need that health. I really do. There we go. Okay. I do just find it vaguely amusing that they keep stealing DDD's song. Because let's be honest, this is more DDD's song than the other song is. Look, as long as it works, Mr. Red. Yeah, I don't know why they did that, Saber4Wife. Some of the placement seems very arbitrary in this one. Ah! Go, let's just go, let's just go, let's just go! Just go! Just go! Uh-oh, it's the umbrella! No! I was facing the wrong way. And we're dead. Listen, I don't know about you, Mook. I constantly summon mechs that are the size of the universe. Mechas, excuse me, that are the size of the universe. That's just a Tuesday, really. I don't actually know what his song is in Forgotten Land. Someday. First time I play that, it'll probably be on camera. At least I'll get to play the Switch 2 version. I don't know what they added, but woo. Could you attack me, please? Could you attack me when I want you to, please? How are you not dead? Watch. Now I had to have kept Bird this whole time. What do you want to bet? Ugh. Yep, we needed Bird. That is so frustrating. Whatever. Let's beat the stage. Start it. Good afternoon, Noctis. How noon do you after? Good afternoon, Bragan. Hi, Valerian. Give me all your power, Valerian. The power of bureaucracy. Okay, so that's going to be carry... oh god, Rick to the end. But now we need to... Let me double check, but I'm almost positive. Yeah, I just need to get Ku. I just need to get Ku to the end. That's all it is. That is really frustrating. Okay, let's just go. I kind of figured, but whatever. So, the original design for Kirby was something they wanted to just be a placeholder graphic. So, if you actually look at him, that is to say the original version, the one on the original Game Boy game, because his design has changed a bit over the years, he's just a collision model, and that's it. That's why. That's why he was designed that way. Pretty much immediately afterwards, everyone was like, oh my god, he's so cute! And so, it kind of stuck. Have you ever seen one of those doodles that someone puts together and with, like, no thought or whatsoever, and it just kind of accidentally ends into being really cute? Because that's Kirby, in a nutshell. Fine. Well, I wanted to walk into the boss fight with full health. That guy was like, no! That should help with that. Well, they're not in a lot of the Kirby games. In fact, I meant to check how many Kirby games are in after this. God, I just lost all my health in that section. That is really irritating. There's probably no health in this part, too. What do you want to bet? Okay. So apparently I can't attack again while the feather's already out there. That kind of screwed me over a bit. Health, please? You gave me like 4 health ups 2 sections ago, and now you're giving me nothing. Now I need to beat a boss with 1 health. Well, 2 health. Okay. Okay, we're good, we're good. Be free! Okay, now we just beat the game. Woo! Love this stage. So next stage, we have to keep Rick through the whole level. And I can already tell it's gonna suck. And that's why. Hang on a second. Maybe, Talia? I don't know. I mean, the controls are kind of wonky. And it's really sluggish. This one in particular is very sluggish. You know, there was one Kirby game I didn't have any issues with. I'm just saying. Alright, here we go. So let's see. Rick, for example. Let's see. Shows up in Toy Box, Star Stacker. Cameo in 64. Cameo in Compass Curves. Cameo in Superstar Ultra. Cameo in Mass Attack. Cameo in Turn. Cameo. Yeah, no, you're correct. Star Allies. That took a long time for the Animal Friends to come back. That's true. Star Allies did bring the entire band back, so to speak. Yeah, Star Allies really was just, we're bringing the whole band back. The whole friggin' thing. Also, arguably, the first game that really tied in the two greater bits of lore. Aw. Okay, let's see if we could keep Rick alive without running into everything, because I suck at Kirby games. Part of it is probably the fact that I just don't wait in platformers in general. I tend to lean more on my reflexes than anything else. I'm used to games like Mega Man and Mario, and Sonic, and every other platformer in the universe. And then there's stuff like that. That was not my fault. I have noticed there's this wonderful thing in this game in particular, which I've been debating if it deserves a negative. I'm not sure it does. Where there's this wonderful delay after certain things happen where you can't do anything. A cooldown period, for lack of a better way to call it. It's really easy to get hit during that period because you have no control of your character. Everything I've seen shows that Air Ride 2 is an extremely legit game. I'm curious if I'll like it. I'm sure it'll review well one way or the other, because duh. But I never got into Air Ride 1. I like quite a variety of racing games, yes. I tend to grade them on a gradient of simulation to bonkers, with arcadey being in the middle. And I happen to like all three. Okay, so this is it, Rick. We got this. Like, for example, Mario Kart tends to sit on the bonkers side of things. Something like Need for Speed is more arcadey. And then you got, like, your Gran Turismos or your Forzas are more leaning towards simulation. I don't think I'm more towards anything Dr. Winter. I just like good games. Oh, okay, these jumps are deceptively hard to do. I don't know if you saw how barely I was making some of those. Oof. No! Oh my god. Okay, so the only reason I salvaged that was because of his wall jump. And I was already going down, so that makes sense. Why are there candles in the clouds? Jesus Christ, that was more stressful than it probably should have been. Okay. Yep, no, yep, yep, okay. Oh, they knew what they were doing with this. Nope, nope, nope. Shoot. Well, like I said, I just like good games, Dr. Winter. That being said, I've played very, very few good simulator games, so that might be the answer just by itself. Just by virtue of density. I should not have gone for that, but it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be A-okay. I really hope you appreciate this, Rick. I don't know who your bow is. What is the female version of a bow? Belle, that's right. I don't know who your Belle is, but I'm sure she's worth it. Thank you, Cardboard Belle. Ta-da! Hamsters run their noses into each other when they kiss. It's very cute. Okay. Another puzzle piece. All right. Yeah, who could it be? I noticed she hasn't even shown up yet, consequently. Despite being a pretty major character of the, well, their next game. 64. Rick, you are too fat. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, I don't care whatever coy nonsense they try to do. It's clearly the same person. Yeah, so hey, yeah, dark matter possessed everyone again, which, you know, kind of sucks. You, listen, I'm looking for my dead wife. Why are there so many of these? Ah! Why are there so many? Okay. I with a board at the bottom, looks like. I would like to think that even James could be helped by Kirby. Kirby's... I mean, Kirby is Kirby. You know? I don't like to lean into meme answers, but honestly, Kirby's probably got that one. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I think that's actually okay. No! Okay, hang on. That's right, I blame you for the fact that I just failed at this puzzle, Talia. How could you do this to me? I sure hope not, Kitten Fan, because he gone. Oh, that's not it. I need the bottom ones too, don't I? Oh, I know, Sabervoid. This would be so much worse if this didn't reset. And I think there's another quality of life feature too, which makes this much less aggravating than it would be. That should be it. Oh, god damn it! Alright, hang on. I have to go stab Talia. Hang on. Where's Talia? Where's Talia? Let's see. Okay. Make out a check for $2 million to Talia Z. Thank you for reminding me that I don't deserve to live. Sincerely, Laura. There you go. Okay. I mean, I did it, at least. I'm curious of something, though. I guess he is upside down. It just never occurred to me that that was relevant. He's just hanging out that way. What? I probably would have gone ahead and did what I just did, looked at that and said, okay, well, it's the opposite of what I just did then. If he hadn't told me. So I probably would have figured that out. What? What was that? Don't mind me just casually walking under. Not over, not near, just under. Everything's fine. There we go. We need to have a talk with that Ado. Ado? Ado? How do you pronounce her name? She has spiders. Mild irritation aside, I actually like this level. It's weird how many good levels we've been running into this far into the game. Usually it's the opposite problem. That's just mean, by the way. I like how I say one nice thing about the level, and it's instantly like, oh yeah? I'll show you. Say something nice about me, will you? I don't even think it's official, but I always like to think that these guys are just mini Dark Matter Knights. I'm not even sure if they show up in anything after this. Oh, God damn it. I think that's just it gets better later. I mean, honestly, prove me wrong, Valerian. They look a lot like mini Dark Matters. They're just Dark Matter Knight, but micro. And there's Dark Matter all over the place, so it makes perfect sense, right? Let's see. So we have a term for when a game starts strong and ends strong. That's Mystic Quest Syndrome. We have a term for when a game falls off in quality at a certain point. That's Sunshine Syndrome. And we have a term for a game... well, I guess we don't have a term for it. Oh, no. No, we do have a term for that, Pillars of Snow. Kingdom Hearts Syndrome. That's what that is. Because most Kingdom Hearts games, honestly, suck early on. And then, you know, de-suck later. So there you go. There's our 3 test cases. Or sample sizes, or whatever you want to call that. No! They're coming to life! Run! Run! Kill everything! I mean, it's a mild case of it, but yeah, I would say so, Kitten Fan. Kingdom Hearts Syndrome also tends to lean towards the story axis, where the story doesn't even start until 2/3 into the game. Hi. Starts poor, gets good, and then gets bad again? Can we even name an example of such a thing? Anyone in chat? What's a game that starts crap, has a solid midsection, and then goes back to being crap? So, Ultimate Boss of Doom. Hi. You, Aw, she looks so mad that I'm destroying her paintings. Oh god, Sun and Moon. And Krakow. That's Mystic Quest Syndrome, Kitten Fan. Solid intro. Solid outro. Crap metal. I just lucked into coming into this fight with the right weapon, didn't I? Hello, Czar. You okay, Addo? Addo, come back! No! She came at me with a paintbrush! Flashing lights warning. Alright, so can we make friends with her now, please? No? Really? That's an interesting looking castle at the end of that. Look at that thing. DDD is like... Mass Effect 3. You know what? Actually, yeah. That's a good example. It starts off crap. Like, Earth and Mars are terrible. And then there's some good missions culminating into Chonka, which is the best part of the game. And then it, like, never stops getting worse from that point onwards. Not counting the Citadel DLC, which is whatever. Huh. Yeah. No, I think that's a solid example of that. Now, I don't want it to sound persnickety. Can we think of a second example of that? So the problem with FF13, I saw your example earlier off the deep run. I hated FF13 so much, and I got a fairly large amount of pushback about that. But I've also never beaten it without cheats. And so I kind of made a mental swear to myself to not actually give an opinion about the game until I've earned it, aka until I've reviewed it. So I actually don't know if FF13 qualifies. Unfortunately, I've only played 13.2 once, and it was with turbo cheats on. But I did like it for what I was doing, aka the story axis. It was ludicrously ridiculous, but in like a fun way, right? Like, the moment we started punching the fabric of space-time was the moment I realized, okay, I get the kind of game we're getting into here. I understand. FF8, though. Even as an ardent defender of FF8, I'm not sure that would qualify there. I think FF8's strongest part is actually its intro. I think it just hit Sunshine Syndrome really early. Don't mistake me, I like large portions of that game, but honestly, the best part of the game is before you go to Timber. Yes. 8's intro is pretty large because, you know, you've got the opener sequence, and then you've got a huge swath of completely optional stuff. Like a very large swath of optional stuff. But what you have to do is you have to go to the Ifrit Cave, and then you have to go do the Dalit mission, and then there's the ball, and that's pretty much the intro. By the way, flowers. Our hint for this stage is flowers. I'm still a fireball. Good to know. Yeah, exactly, Kitten Fan. And as a result, intros and outros either suck, you know, like Mass Effect 3, or nail it, like Mystic Quest. Although, honestly, from a reality perspective, what I tend to notice is Sunshine Syndrome, which is by far the most common of any of the gaming terms I've ever come up with. That part of the game where the game just gets worse. Immediately and noticeably. And it makes sense, right? You run out of time, you run out of budget, you run out of energy, you run out of care. Just want to ship the damn thing. There's a reason a lot of developers will specifically develop the intro and the outro last or first, depending on what exactly thing they want to go for on that. Like Doom, it was last, so they had all the experience. Oh, hey! I did the right thing. Holy crap. Being careful because I don't want to step on these poor flowers. A lot of these things. There we go. We're good, we're good. Unfortunately, I don't know the Xenoblades well enough to even comment on those. So I don't know where those would sit at all. Oh, that's 2 stages in a row where I lucked into having the right ability. Granted, they did give me fire earlier, but I didn't know I needed it. That's why there's a walkthrough negative there. It's like, how are you supposed to know this other than just luck? So in some cases, you can tell. In some cases, it just bring the right thing. This stage is also an excellent example of why there's a visual distinction negative. Game looks great and all, but it is a little hard to tell what the heck is going on sometimes. So someone mentioned Xenogears and Chrono Cross. I wish Rax was here. I could ask them what the best part of Xenogears was. I think Xenogears would be more of a... No! Being eaten by a bat. I think Xenogears would be more of a Kingdom Hearts syndrome. I mean, the plot doesn't even start until about 40 hours into Xenogears, first of all. And honestly, I'm the weirdo who thinks that the game just got better when we hit Disc 2 in Xenogears, and I stand by that. So that feels more like solidly Kingdom Hearts syndrome at that point. Chrono Cross? Oh, absolutely, Talia. Yeah, they spent ever polishing the first Kirby game. Aw. Yeah, it's for a game that's less than an hour long. They spent a ton of time on it. Is that a freaking Metroid? If you say yes, I'm leaving this planet. We're done. We're done. It's over. Metroids are loose on the planet. We're done. Call it in. Why is the screen shaking? So hang on. We have ice. That was probably our hint. Right, that makes sense. Honestly, I'd have trouble thinking of games that do that off the deep end. I agree with you. Per my own terminology, most of the top games are the games that don't suffer from Sunshine Syndrome. They don't have that fall-off point. To use my beloved Final Fantasy as an example, how many FFs don't have Sunshine Syndrome? Like 3? Okay, that was a thing. Jesus. Oh no, I lost Frost. When did I lose Frost? I didn't even see it! I didn't even see it amongst all the avalanche. We might even say it's a Kirby avalanche. Okay, on the off chance that you don't get that, you now have to suffer. This is your life now. This game actually predates this game by, I want to say, 2 years? It was one of the first games they made, one of the first Kirby games ever made. Yeah, 2 years, I was right.
Kirby's Avalanche.
Yeah, I forget what this is called. It's not actually Tetris.
Poppy Brothers sheep.
Yeah, it's Puyo Ba 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 Ba. Anyways. So let's assume we're not about to die. Alright, we're dead. And Kirby's dead. Alright. I'm guessing, Kitten Fan. I mean, it's a Metroid, right? That's the hint. It's a Metroid! Why? So I mentioned that control issue. You probably didn't see it, but I was desperately trying to spit out the thing. But like I said, there's a delay. So you can't take certain actions until other actions are concluded. So I just sat there and fell to my death because he was incapable of spitting out the thing that he just sucked up. Because there was that delay. really frustrating. So hang on. Kirby eats a Metroid. What happens? That's true. Nothing gives power. Not everything gives power to Kirby. You. Yeah, I knew there was the last one. I was gonna be mad, though. It's funny, because they have been skipping over most of the problems of the last game, Dreamland 2. Which wouldn't have had that one right there, right? It would have just been like, nope, sucks to be you. Oh, there's more than one Metroid. Okay. That's not actually what I was expecting. That's even worse. We need to Etch-a-Sketch this planet right away. Ado, whatever your name is. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Red. Oh, that's true. We're in the frozen area of death here, so of course they can't get out. Okay, I heard a jingle. We're probably good. I can unclench a little bit. You know how I call Mega Man games precision platformers? These would be imprecision platformers, I think. Barely feel like you're in control at any given point in time. A plat floater. I mean, considering we're playing a puffball who can fly, yeah, that makes sense. I love how every single one of these is a trap, by the way. That was just a dick move. That was just a dick move. It's gaining. It's gaining. Oh, Jesus Christ. It is actually gaining. I can't believe I managed that. I cannot believe I managed that. Hey, Samus. Don't worry. I got you, fam. Can I at least get a flex for that? Because I even did that on purpose. I was trying to guesstimate where the objects were I was colliding with in the air, to guess to where I was, to then figure out where I had to land to hit the door I couldn't see behind the avalanche. Thank you, Noel, for the sub. Oh yeah, I meant to say, Mr. Ed, if anybody in the history of human existence ever says, man, I'm so sick of WoW, I wish I could play FF11, then something has gone extraordinarily wrong. No, as usual, if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. Either way, thank you. So, chef, huh? Chef. Oh, hang on, hang on. I mean, yeah, Mr. Red, I don't disagree with that sense. I've been told I have a message. It says, Dear Lore, you suck and I hate you. Please die. Okay. How is she holding on to that star? Most hated character in a franchise that's still well written who isn't a villain. I like how you just specifically removed the jailer from consideration there. I can't let any of them out. Oh, y'all get to stay in there. Oh, 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 oh. Hang on. It's going towards FF7R2, Ralph of Fire 4, and Dragon Quest 7R. Done. Thank you again, Noel. And Happy New Year. Okay, so most hated character in a franchise that's still a well-written character. So a character I can't stand who's still well-written. I'm not sure there is such a thing for me. See, the problem is what it sounds like you're describing as a get-off-my-screen character, but pretty much by definition, a get-off-my-screen character is a character that isn't well-written. That's part of what makes them so terrible. One of my go-to examples for that is Kai Winadami over in Deep Space Nine. But she's very well written, and acted, and written. And I don't hate her, because, you know, she's a great character. I want to take her back and shoot her, but that's unrelated. Boy, this is gotta be freezing. Do you think Kirby even is affected by things like water? And by water, I mean temperature. This is an auto-scroller? I didn't even notice, honestly. There it goes. There's the transition. I didn't even notice it happening. I mean, air bubbles come out of Kirby, but that could just be all the people trapped inside his, you know, vacuous black hole self. Oh god, not again, Kira White Noise. Not again. I'll never do the machine again. I really won't. I'm so sorry that you have to suffer through FF11, Mr. Red. I hope that someday, God willing, you'll be able to play a good MMO and actually enjoy it. I think I like the standard one a bit better, Saberwife, but it's a small difference. Yeah, I need to stop paying for an FF11 sub too. I haven't logged in like 3 months. It's a business expense, so whatever, but still, you know. It's not a lot. Yeah, I could use that health. Yeah, God, that's gonna suck. It just sucks so hard. I can't wait. Is there ever voice acting, Blade Duval, in FF11? I mean, I'm guessing no, because FF14 doesn't even have voice acting most of the time. Whoa! So FF11 has as much voice acting as FF9. Or 8, actually, for that matter. Well, the devs love Kine, so let's assume it's Kine. That's exactly what I'm expecting, Dahlia. Oh, it's one of these. What? What? I don't even know what I'm looking for. What? Huh? Oh, okay. As they're falling. As they're falling. There we go. Okay, okay. I like how they dull the music, too. Oh, it's 3 or 4. It's 3 or 4. No, I'm wrong twice. It was 2. So each one as they fall... These are all kind of pseudo-guessing games. There's probably a term for them I don't know of. And you have to guess correctly, and you have to get all 3 guesses correct, or else you have to redo the entire stage. They're probably objectively the worst part of the game. Like, so far, a lot of the things have been improved from the previous game. Like, getting the little optional things have been improved. And honestly, there have been some really good ones, too. Those things suck. I agreed to go ahead and use save states just to not have to redo the entire stage every single time that I made any mistake on any of that. Licorice spiced tea? Oh, spiced tea, excuse me. Yeah, if they just allow me to quickly retry it, it wouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't even give a negative for that. I'd just be like, oh, okay. But yeah, the penalty for failure is gargantuan. And yeah, the third option's always way harder to parse. And yeah, good luck. Okay, so our hint for this one is a crepe with raspberry jam on it. Yeah, so I was gonna say, level 4 should be a boss, right? So, let's see. I actually don't know what I've left to do off the top of my head, but I do need to finish leveling. And I believe there was the possibility of maybe getting some gear as well. I don't even know what's involved in getting gear. I think that's actually it, though. Now, I'm going to have to come up with a guide, or ask Valerian for a guide. Not that Valerian would ever do that for me. Valerian's way too cool for that. For, like, what to do and when, to be able to tap all the content. I'm just getting a vibe they want me to have fire here. Although if it's a mini-boss, it's whatever. Left or right? Whoop, 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 whoop. Valerian or Blade would know about what event you're referencing. If only they were here to answer my extremely stupid and banal questions that don't matter. If only. I can't be the only one who has a hard time seeing that blue spiky stuff, right? Like, I can see it, but it's... But only if I'm looking right at it, if that makes sense. My peripheral just isn't catching it. Not these things, the previous scene. Like, it's a lot of light blues and white on a background of light blues and white. Oh, I started waiting! So I thought I'd see if I could just rush under them. I could not. Damn it, game. Dick move, dick move. Dick move the game. No, that's the last game. Last game was way worse about things like gotcha. Oh my god, is this entire stage just wait the stage? Is that just the every room is just wait, wait, red light, red light. I mean, we know why we put the dash in. It's because the dash was added to Adventure. Which is funny, because it was specifically added to Adventure to make the game feel a little bit more high-paced. What happens? Yeah, no kidding, Chillbang. See, the funny thing is, if I could flex a little bit the game design thing. This kind of thing would work a little bit better if either there was some variance to the theme, you know, something other than weight puzzles, right? Or, rather than doing it like 8 times in a row or 5 times in a row, you do it once. And then you do the next one. Even if it's the same weighting theme, allowing the player to do the snapper jaw thing, right? Then do the falling icicles. Then do the giant icicle chunk that goes up and down like that. The variety of that would help, right? And it would also reduce the padding of the whole situation. But even this is kind of clever. It's just the same overall theme. You have to go all the way to one end and then the other in order to progress. I also have this really horrible feeling that it wanted me to bring the bird all the way here, because the bird allows me to attack down. Fire and bird, actually. It's fine, Mr. Ed. I'm not worth listening to anyways. Besides, the 2 people I was asking questions about are clearly not watching right now because none of them responded. Yeah, like Valerian. Valerian was just completely ignoring me. I don't blame you, Valerian. I wouldn't listen to me either. What the heck is that, do we think? Oh, and it's its shell. And we have to get the cat to the end of the next stage. Jeez. Okay, okay, so let's go. We have a pretty good idea what to do here. So let's go grab the bird. And then do the weight dungeon again. What I was asking Valerian was if you or Bladejaval knew 2 things. First of all, something about gearing up once I hit 99. And second of all... no, you were right, Blizzstow. Second of all, figuring out what, like, to do. Like, a content to-do list. Yeah, I know there's an event coming up. Oh my god, I can't move! Ah! Can't move! So yeah, fire and coup. I just realized the whole dungeon really is just this waiting theme. It's like, wait, 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 wait. Wait. Okay, just no, wait, wait. Okay, wait, wait. Okay, which one of these had the blade? Behold. The Boyd. Okay, now I can't lose the Boyd. Which means I can't die for, like, the rest of the dungeon. Means... waiting. Oh god, tell me about it, Kennex Cow. I really miss going to the conventions, but at the same time, oof. Paid hotels, though, so that's out. Now, once I get the teleporter working, Just imagine it. You've been to the convention, your feet are tired, you're exhausted, but you're happy, you've done all kinds of things, and you just want to collapse. So you go to your own bed, and you're like, ah. And you just relax. Take a nice hot shower in your shower. Appreciate you, Valerian, by the way. And now, wait! Okay, get eaten, because you didn't wait. Cool. That was actually a mistake. I didn't mean to overextend that far. How many times is this? My god. You know, Mario 3 had figured out years before how to reward the player for timing going through this kind of stuff. I'm just saying. Okay, that's just a source of fire. This I can just go down now. Ain't that the truth? Okay. All we have to do is not screw up. Let me guess. Yep. Weirdest attack button. You do this by jumping and attacking at the same time, so you have to hold both buttons. Do I have to switch? I think I do. Oh my god. Okay, hang on. Okay, but like, why are you here? Because I clearly need her, right? Oh god, who am I supposed to... Okay, I'm gonna make a save state here, because I don't know who it wants me to enter the next room with. I'm gonna guess it's Pitch, just because Pitch is here. And serves no other purpose. Probably could have done that with Ku. But we're good! We did it! Woo! Good evening, Evo. You missed everything. How you doing? In terms of, like, real difficulty? Yes. Ignore what just happened. I did not do that on purpose. I was thinking about it. and not paying attention. Like, obviously there's some bullcrap in this game, but for the most part, it's just difficult, which is fine. Unlike the second game, which is, you know, bullcrap. Ta-da! Slug Snail Man! I am sorry that you have a headache. I'm sorry that you had a bug. I'm sorry that Baldur's Gate 3 is not the second coming of Christ. I am sorry that I now have to keep the cat alive for an entire stage. The good news is we're doing really good on getting these things, so nowhere near as bad of what I was worried about. Like, okay, real talk. I was scared walking into this after what happened with Dreamland 2. Like, that was so miserable, getting all the rainbow gems. It's been way smoother here. Looks like I've given a grand total of 5 negatives to gameplay for the gems, for the hearts in this. Which, if that sounds like a lot, that is not as much as I gave the last game. These are not the cat. I need the cat. Yeah, the last one was just rough. In that baby's first game kind of way. I'm pretty sure Evo... I wish you had time, Evo. Just to prove me right. Just to prove me right. Evo, I need you to freeze time and go make a platformer that's better than the game we just played. Because I bet you could. Yeah, no, this if I was to describe this game, it would literally be Dreamland 2, but better. And then we could add, like, all kinds of cool stuff where, like, there's narrative reasons. Actually, it makes perfect sense, Chill Bangle. Wah! I agree completely. Still no cat. Maybe, like, some contextualization options. Anyways, so one of the first things I noticed about this was that... Is it coming back? Oh. Your... hitbox is so much larger when you have an animal. And your collision box is larger too, so easier to get hit and harder to navigate. And yeah, that's just, it's a little awkward and weird. This is a really strange stage so far. I haven't even seen the cat yet. Which means I've probably missed it by now. What's the cat's name? I mean, it's not Neko, right? That would be crazy. Nago. Got it. This is a really weird stage. Ah! Oh, okay. I accept. Still no cat. I'm ready, Talia. I'm ready for the nonsense. Because it's gonna be nonsense. Isn't in the level? I actually have to bring in... Okay. So that means I really do have to do the entire stage. With that stupid cat. And this is a long stage, as you can tell, because we're still going. I'm just gonna leave now, honestly. Okay. I'm trying to think of a level where he was. I got to turn the light back on. I'm so stupid. Ugh. Stupid mode in game. Yeah, they showed me every other animal. Just to rub it in my face. Hey, do you want an animal companion? Well, sucks to be you. Yeah, exactly. No, the whole time I'm like, where's the one I'm missing? Because the icon on the stage select clearly indicated, right? Sorry, I'm jotting down some notes here super quick. Okay. Okay. So, where the hell do I find that dumb cat? I try not to think about Roblox. It's a kind of a disgusting, cancerous mass on the industry, and literally toxic in terms of its social impact, the way it abuses and misuses people, the predatory practices it employs, the predatory practices it encourages, and just generally being a giant dumpster fire, metaphorically. Yeah, money laundering and it's so bad. Like, Roblox is one of the situations where it's like, you pick your poison for what's the worst aspect of Roblox. Don't worry, they're all terrible. Damn it! Hey! Okay. Cat. I still have 1 health. I'm an idiot. Honestly, Roblox probably shouldn't be legal, which means someone somewhere is getting bribed. Because cases like that are easy wins and big PR stunts for prosecutors and for judges. There's no way someone hasn't looked at that and said, wow, that would be a great gold star to put on my career. So, I don't know what the heck is taking them so long. Okay. Wish me luck. I didn't see any heals on that section either. A lot of 1-ups, not a lot of heals. So I'm going to be cautious. There's Blake Taval. Join me. What? You son of a... I just got hit because I did nothing wrong. And I am mad about that. I don't know, I've never had any issues getting kids into games. Like, you know, actual games. Good games. But, you know, I've got that uncle vibe. Or not vibe, I've got the angle. Ow! Going for me. I was actually thinking about a seconds and minutes negative, Chill Pangolin. Because, yeah, I kind of agree. It's like, guys... Well, you know what I mean, right? Like, a parent has a harder time getting a kid to listen. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Well, now I have 1 health left. And there's no healing. I don't know if you've seen that yet. I can't believe I just did that. Completely on accident, too. Cool. Well, there is definitely no healing now. That's my fault, admittedly. I didn't even know I could inhale that guy. That was literally just a reflex of, oh, there's an enemy. That might even just have been, oh, there's movement. One thing I've noticed, a lot of kids, in general, because of just human psychology, will be more attracted to nice, bright visuals. So they're going to be more interested in a game like Super Mario World than a game like Mega Man, just to put a direct comparison point there. Still creepy. So, I use that as a specific example. I've actually gotten all 3 of the kiddos at this point playing Mario World, and of course, a lot of them like Kirby and Pokemon and stuff like that. Yeah, Star Allies is a great example of one. Oh, we're not managing this one this time. Well, true, Talia, I can't think of any examples of a game I would have one of the kiddos sit down and play that would qualify for that problem. Anyways, I was just going to ask for your help on FF11, but I think Valerian's on top of it. Thank you, Bladewell. Oh. I am at 1 health. Oh, nothing. They don't get to touch anything on the iPad or the iPhone unless it is seriously vetted first. So, I had been saving as I go, because we've already thrown out the Chi flag, because I don't care. Still only have 2 health now. 1 health, 1 health. I didn't run. I'm not sure why it decided to run. I was just asking about FF11, Blakefall. Specifics of getting geared. If there's anything I need to do other than getting to 99 and getting geared. This is so terrible. This is so terrible. Yeah, I don't actually know how to do that. I guess this might be a way to do that. I mean... Same exact pattern. Okay. 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 Please take us with you. No. I don't even know how long the stage is. I just realized this is... I know this is a long frickin' stage. And I have 1 health. Well, I guess that's how you get the 1-up. I kind of don't want that right now. Oh no. Oh no! Okay. Good. Okay, hang on. Oh my god. Okay, I have an idea. You okay up there? Everything fine? Okay, I just thought I'd say hi while you're here. That's an interesting attack. I don't think we've seen that yet. Now we're playing Mario 1. I'm just kidding. That's way less terrifying than Mario 1. Okay. I just was ready for that. We need people to vote first, J. Palmer. And right now we're shy about 30-ish people. I don't think the audience has shrunk that much. Rainbow burritos. I look forward to seeing that. Did you do a democracy? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Ah, frickin' I can't. We're in the 50s now. I think like 51 or 52. Last year we had 80 people vote. Not everyone votes for every category, so I usually weigh in based on who votes for Game of the Year. I mean, it scored well too, J. Palmer, so that makes sense. How long is the stage? Plenty of people do that. Like I said, that's why I use the Game of the Year vote as the measuring stick for actual voters. Like if I... Oh, quite a while, J. Palmer. If I pull up the log right now, right? I'll show you what I mean. My thumb rest for a second. So, for example, for best weapon, tool, or kit, we have 80 votes. But for best level or quest, we have 87 votes. However, for worst HUD or interface, we only have 68 votes. And for worst boss, we only have 50 votes. And then for something like, say, best overall story, we have 70 votes. But for best overall cast, we only have 60 votes, etc., etc. That's why I try to use Game of the Year as the measuring stick, because everything else is debatable. Not everyone votes for every category. That's on purpose. Oh my god, health. Trap health. Trap health. You snots. You little dick lickers. This stupid cat better appreciate all the effort we're going through to get him to his freaking bow. Or bell. I think it's bell in this case. Here's your freaking cat. You assholes. Good God. Well, yeah, Mr. Red Snow's awesome. What is that? Is that Palutena? So how many negatives do we give that? See, the problem is, I actually don't think I should give it any negatives. I don't know, I'm willing to talk about this. So you have to bring Neko in from out of the stage. That sucks. Let's just get that out of the way. But it's just a particularly long stage, which does have heal-ups. I screwed up on the healings. That's on me. Yeah, it's a gauntlet. It's a straightforward gauntlet. Keep the cat the whole way through. That's your challenge. The biggest detriment is it doesn't give you the freaking cat. And that, yeah. Interesting song choice. Yeah, I think, honestly, at worst, I could probably give it a single negative. I guess we'll pick middle, because, lightning. I need to come in here with lightning. Aw, see you around, Evo. Do feel better. Or else. Well, let's go and just exit, since we're here. We only know about 2, J. Palmer, but both of them do have them. But for example, Argus didn't, but that might just because it's Argus, right? Like, it's hard to gauge that. Okay, I did get that positive. Sorry, just double check myself. You know what? Why don't I just check the walkthrough here real quick? What does this require? Yes, that is a Metroid. So, by coincidence, I now know the format of this stage. God. Interesting attack. So we need all the feathers. Like that's pretty much it. That's the challenge. So So I suspected something like that. So then we restart the stage. What? Excuse me? You're not allowed to have a hurt box before we have a hit box. I think I'm gonna dump the bird. He's actually making this harder. I probably could have just accepted the death there, but whatever. You know, Mr. Red, if you want, I could also check my own keys later. I doubt it'll be it, but it is at least another roll of the dice, so to speak. It's what, 10 I think you need? Or is it 20? God, I don't remember. It's been a minute. Yeah, honestly, ditto, tell you. I'm just waiting for it. Still straight, though. Take possibility, get item has been the thing so far. Okay, yeah, still the thing. Honestly, yeah, the snowman, or sorry, the umbrella fight kind of sucks. He's only really got 2 attacks, not kind of just jumping around. And he throws out the thing that he can be hit with way too infrequently. Whereas the snowman rewards you with risk-reward, which I like. So... Yep. What do you want to bet? Not the first time that screwed me over. How much longer is this? Yeah, by the way, this is basically the last stage. And a mini boss rush for a last stage is not something I would consider super impressive. I've seen it worse, but like, this is it. Yeah, this is the last stage of the game. This is the outro. Unless there's something I don't know about, or I'm not thinking about right now. It's always possible. So, you know. Hey, Kyfrin, one moment, please. I know, right, Chill Penguin? Thank you very, very much for the sub. And for 66 months. Give me a moment. We're putting that towards Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy Tactics R, and Steins Gate Elite. Appreciate you. Okay. Is that it? Are we good? We good. Almost missed that. Not what I wanted, but sure, I'll take it. So, yeah. It's, okay, so let's go fight definitely the final boss. Is he asleep again? He's asleep again! Ah! Ah! Okay, the pattern is very different than I was expecting. Like, those bounced way out there. Seriously, he's asleep again. You see that, right? His eyes are closed and everything. He has a lot less health than last time. Not a complaint. That was actually my biggest complaint with his fight last time. It is amusing to me how many fights go from being bad fights to good ones, just based on how much their health value is set. Oh, so we have a phase 2. Of course we do. Yep, that's a thing. Damn it. I mean, DDD's pretty strong, but, like, nothing is as strong as Kirby, right? Come down here so I can shoot you. Did not know I could stand on that. Yeah, DDD's having some issues right now. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. His stomach has just turned into a mouth. Ah, I see. It's the edges over here. Is there a phase 3? Okay. You ready for this, Mr. Red? It's your favorite part of the game. Oh, sorry. Flashing lights warning. Flashing lights warning. Sorry, I keep forgetting about that. You okay, DDD? Okay, now it's time for your favorite part of the game. We just gonna leave him there? Okay. That's right. It's time for Hyperzone. God, I'm very low on health. So there's all the different dark matters that we've been excising. Turn into that thing. And this is just dark matter again from the last game. So that's kind of whatever. So that's, okay, strange, but alright. Well, the lower left one is my weapon, and the lower right one, I believe, is the animal companion. They're not very distinct. Okay. Yeah, no hidden timer this time. I do like how we're literally shooting hearts at him. Once again, though, it's the same fight as last time, but better. That was true with DDD as well, so that's 2 improvements. Oh, it could be two-player ability. So it looks like about... well, I was going to say 9 more hits. That's about 7. 6, maybe? I don't know. The health bars are very indistinct in these games for some reason. Here you go, Mr. Red. Just for you. This is Zero. Zero is what we call pretty far up the chain of the negative elementals. In fact, for the longest time, it was assumed Zero was actually the furthest up the chain. Until the Termina dude showed up in Star Allies, which is one step further up. Yes, he is bleeding at us. As you might imagine, Zero's kind of stuck around in the Kirby fandom for a while, too. There's a lot of theories about this guy. One of the biggest question marks is he the leader of the Dark Matters? Or is he the source of the Dark Matters? I'm explaining that badly. The idea here being either the Dark Matters are his minions, or they are pieces of him. That is absolutely terrible, Zactaft. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, by the way, small gore warning. Anybody who has any eye stuff, when we transition to Phase 2 here, is Zero evil? The general presumption is no. There we go. Final phase. Has way less health, but requires a little more rejiggering to deal with, and is much harder to dodge. I mean, honestly, Zero is probably an it. Call me a weirdo. I actually really like that fight. If it's not obvious, I've fought that fight several times. Because I had a save, which I just kept there. And of course, there's the Nintendo Switch Online version I referenced, where you can just go right to that fight. In total contrast to the final fights of Dreamland 2, that was solid. DDD was way more balanced, especially with the smaller health amount. Dark Matter 1 was fun, and Zero was actually pretty legit, in addition to being absolutely horrifying. So, hey, kind of stuck the landing. Which is weird. Is that not how you spell molasses? How do you spell molasses? Anybody in chat? Is it an E? It is an E. What's up, Jay Palmer? What? Hang on, we gotta double check that. Hang on. Okay. Merriam-Webster says molasses with an E. And I don't think they're using AI. Oh, that would be awful. That would be so terrible. Honestly, I've been having some fun. Like, Dreamland 2 was this weird needle in my eye. Sorry, I'm still thinking about Zero. But, yeah, I've kind of been with it. What's wrong? Oh, it's all the... Look at him, it's all the things we've been helping. To get rid of Zero. I haven't played most of these games in years. Hell, even Star Ultra, I haven't played in about 12 or 13 years. Something like that. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Let's just get rid of that really quick. The last Kirby game came out last year, I believe. But yes, they're still going and still going strong. Kirby and the Forgotten Land was, by all accounts, a great game that also sold well. So it got a Switch 2 version, which I don't actually know what it adds. Let's do this. Oh yeah, I actually forgot about Air Riders too, sorry. But yes, you are correct, obviously. So, Boss Butch, just for you, Talia. Apparently I'm muted. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, hang on. I don't know when I muted, so thank you, Cycloud, for telling me about the stuff. Are the heavily modified levels in the game, or are they different stuff? As in, like, is it separately selectable? I'll be playing Metroid Prime 4 first time on stream. That's going to be happening soon. Who's actually played La 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 and La La La, so it makes sense they'd iterate them. And this is a song called Flory Fields from Air Riders 2. Okay, I think that was everything. But this game actually was longer than Dreamland 2, which I find interesting, because it kind of felt like it, and it kind of didn't. I agree with Chill Pangolin. It did drag too hard in several places. But at the same time, I kind of feel like Dreamland 2 felt longer. Alright, so they're already done with the boss rush, so here, let's just do this really quick. Nobody wants to hear Air Rider music. Let's get back into it. I mean, true, Blade Traval. That is a valid thing to mention. God. Okay. Interesting that the TAS uses 2 players. Not surprising, just interesting. I've never really had an opinion on Gooey. I get he's the second player thing, but I like what Superstar did better. Fun fact, I'll talk about this tomorrow as well, but Miyamoto absolutely mandated that there be 2-player co-op in Superstar. It was the one executive mandate he handed down to that game. He had been trying to get 2-player simultaneous co-op in the Mario series since the NES era. And so there were various issues and reasons that it became a thing until the Wii. So, when they were doing this whole thing here, with Superstar, he was like, no, you're doing this. You're figuring out a way to make it happen. It's like, okay. For those of you not aware, the second player in Superstar is the person that you just inhaled. So let's say I inhale Cutter, I can then pop out a second player, who is now playing as the Cutter enemy, who has access to the Cutter abilities. Also, Superstar, I don't want to get too much ahead of myself, also has the exact same combat engine under the hood as Smash Brothers on the N64. I didn't even know that until I was doing some research for it. We'll talk more about that in specifics when we get there. See, I do actually have a thought about Gooey. This is just impression based on like how they showcase him, but I've always kind of felt that Gooey isn't positively inclined now, so much as he's not negative, which I know sounds like the same thing, but what I mean by that is it feels like he went from evil to neutral, right? He went from negativity to null. Like, he's just here to have fun. Whoops. And eat things. Definitely eating things. Hey, Melikor. Normal. Yeah, he has a mouth for the first time. It's like, I don't blame him at all. I mean, look at Gooey's face for a second. Kirby is not exactly known as an ardent intellectual, but tell me that there's a brain somewhere inside Gooey's goo. By the way, direct comparison. 5 negatives for the side things instead of 14. There's your comparison point from Dreamland 2 to Dreamland 3 directly. I think that speaks for itself, frankly. I don't want to sound overpraisey, but this really is just Dreamland 2, but better in pretty much every way. This is a classic, you know, what you think of when you think of a standard sequel. It is better. It is the previous game, but better. I don't know, even the overall plot is basically the same, just better presented, right? Alright, give me a second. What's going on with the music? Also, multiple positives to boss design as opposed to multiple negatives. Like, that's... He left the one up. How do you feel about the music? Anybody can weigh in on this. Nobody feels like it. Like, I'm kind of torn, because we ended up giving no positives to Dreamland 2. But I'm debating if this is, like, worthy of, say, Dreamland 1's level. That's really the comparison point. Like, unlike, say, Superstar Ultra, which is gonna get some positive. Oh, Superstar Ultra might get a song positive. Or two. But so far the music has been solid. I don't know. I think I agree with Mr. Red. WoW is a better game than FF11. Or I mean, I'm looking forward to going through FF11 for whatever that's worth. It's gonna be terrible. I would still rather play BC than play FF11. Story! That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. We'll see. I, as of this moment, still haven't seen any of the story, really. Not counting the extremely small amount of Sandoria, which was such a nothing burger. Did you know that the beast tribes exist? We should go kill them. All right. Oh my gosh. The Shadow Lord is returning. Oh no. And we're done. And I just summarized like 5 hours of quest for you. Spoilers. What is he doing? Yeah, literally, Mr. I wasn't really joking. I remember the story such as it is. It's just, there's not much there. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Can someone pop the exclamation mark guess thing for me, please? Please, please. Thank you. So, let me give this away. This is not as good as the NES game. I'm just going to say that outright. The NES game was pretty polished and had some serious industry vets and a lot of pedigree behind it. But, and it's obviously going to beat Dreamland 2, right? Dreamland 2 is the gimme. That was a negative. This is not. There you go. So here's the question. Is this a better game, overall, taking everything into account, than the original? The very, very first one on the Game Boy. That is the question. For perspective, the original scored 44.66. Give me 1 second here. G 1992. Thank you, Tyler, very much, as always. And if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. Okay. So, let's do some direct comparison. We'll just compare it with the original. So, Dreamland on the Game Boy got +6 to story, whereas this got +8. Now, Dreamland was ludicrously short. So it capped out on density, literally capped, as far as the formula goes. It was an hour-long game. This one was 6 and some change. This game was 6.42 hours, so just under 6.5 hours long. So the original game obviously has much higher density. I'm just going to ignore that. And same ratio, 100%. No story issues. Okay, cool. Gameplay. The original game got +9. This game got +12. 12. The original game had obviously very high density, but this game also has very high density at 1.8 positives per hour. The original game had a much higher ratio, whereas this game, that can't be right. No, that's right, had a 68.75% chance. Hang on, RNC 3, up your arsenal, Sonic Adventure 2, and Pokemon. Oh, let's see. I think about how to spell that for some reason. Thank you again, Tyler. So those numbers kind of rotate around each other a bit. Different densities, different ratios, pretty similar overall scores. Kirby's Dream Land 3 scored... Can I get a drum roll, please? Just as a reminder, the original got 44.66. So, Dreamland 3 got a 40. .55. If you know anything about how this system works, eking over a game by 4 points on the golden number is really close. That is practically identical in terms of overall score. But that actually makes a lot of sense to me. This game tried a lot of things, probably because of all the lessons they learned from the second game. And so it had a lot more room to fail. But the first game didn't do much, but whatever it did really solidly. And this game was just such an improvement over the original in pretty much every way. And by the original, I mean Dreamland 2. Excuse me, I need to be more clear with my terminology here. So that means, if I'm not mistaken, that Ken X Cow wins. Yes. So that's going towards the Jack block, Jedi Fallen Order, and Yakuza 0. Congrats, Ken X Cow. Now I'm going to steal Bregwin's burritos. Not a sex joke. And tomorrow, hopefully, we'll spend the whole day playing Kirby Superstar Ultra. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see y'all.